I'm going to be talking to you about the 5 things that stops us being creative. So whether it's trying to obtain that new car, the new house, some money, or generational wealth, you're right here at the Alex Sandy Lee Experience. So reason number 1 could be a rigid schedule that you are following, or a rigid routine that you're following every single day. Now, everyone has good routines. Everyone has bad routines. I think I'm somewhere in the middle. Yeah, I do have my bad habits, things I'm kind of doing every single day, which stops me from getting the thing that I actually want. Now, having that rigid schedule could be wake up in the morning, going to have a shower, brushing your teeth, having your breakfast, then going to work. A lot of us, I'll say probably 90% of us, have regular jobs called the 9 to 5 or the rat race. And sometimes that routine stops us from obtaining the thing that we've ever wanted. But what you must do as a clued up human being is find time before or during actually or after your 9 to 5. Listen, everyone has breaks. Everyone has breaks. So in a half-hour break, a 10-minute break, you can just maybe read a book. There's so many motivational books out there that you can read. And there's no excuse. You can actually do it, digitally on your mobile device, or in a good old way. I've got here a Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. Literally, there's no excuse. You can read a book first thing in the morning, during your break, or after you have come home from work, when you just actually had your dinner. Now, the second thing, because there's 2 things actually, there's 4 more things to go. The second thing is over-reliance on your habits. We all have habits. Some of us have bad habits. Some of us have really good habits. And some of us are somewhere in the middle. So your habits are going to determine what kind of person you are, what kind of person you want to be, or what person you have been in the past. So if you're wanting to change yourself, you've got to change your habits, because you can't keep doing the same thing day out, day in, for this week, for this month, for the year, 10 years, 20, 30, 40 years, and expecting things to change. You've got to change your habits. Now, I've just recently started to invest again. I was, investing in cryptocurrency. I just kind of figured that's not really my thing. So I thought, what, let me get back into the routine of, investing in shares. Because I'm thinking about not only in my lifetime, but for my children's lifetime and maybe their children's lifetime, that when they can look back and say, actually what granddad did, he had good habits. Yeah, he started to invest in stocks and shares. And look what we've got now. We've got this house, we've got this money. So just think about, changing your habits. You can't be doing the same thing, day in and day out and hoping for things to change. The only way things are going to change is when you change. When has that got to be? Or when is that going to be? That's down to you. Number 3, constant negative feedback. Woo! Oh, my, ignorance on fire, man. Ignorance on fire. This is me. My mum always used to tell me, you don't like to admit you're wrong, Alex. You don't like to admit you're wrong. Even when I'm getting all this feedback and, being told that you did this at school or at work, you don't like to admit you are wrong. And even your best friends, sometimes they don't want to see you change. They're happy to see you ignorant on fire. Yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So what I would say to you is, when you're responding or listening to negative feedback, just count to 10, do some press ups or do something just to relieve the stress. Because sometimes you're going to get people who don't want to see you do well. That's just the way it is. But on the other hand, if you're wanting to get in, for example, into investing, multi-level marketing, find a mentor who will tell you literally the things you probably don't want to hear. And again, a little caveat, your mind has to be open to listening to negative feedback. Oh my goodness, we've all had negative feedback. Personally, I've not responded to negative feedback quite well. But when it comes from a mentor who has been there and done it, who wouldn't want to listen to that mentor? Sometimes your friends, your family, yeah, and your neighbors do not want to see you do well. Yeah, so if you're wanting to invest, if you're wanting to go into multi-level marketing or, buying real estate, find a mentor who will give you the feedback that you need. Again, your ears have to be open. Number 4, lack of environmental variety. So again, it's probably down to a routine. You wake up, you're walking or going to the bus and, it's raining or it's sunny. And sometimes you don't even know how you got to work. If you understand what I mean. Because sometimes we're just in a remote control environment. We just do things by rote. Okay, we'll do this automatically. And before you know it, you're at work. Before you know it, you're back home. You think, hey, what happened in between that? So I walk to work. I probably can take a couple of buses or maybe the underground because we're here in London, in the UK. But I prefer to walk to work. It's a good 30-minute walk if I'm walking very fast. 35 minutes if I'm walking fairly slow. But in that walk, I get to walk through, a park where I'm going to see the birds, the trees, some people, jogging, some people just having coffee. So you've got to have a variety. Change your environment. There's nothing worse than just being the same old routine, doing the same thing, seeing this, the same people. You've got to change your environment. And, if you're thinking about travel, what a way to open up your mind to different experiences. You can do it. Again, if you're wanting things to change, you have to change. When is that going to be? That's down to you. That's down to you. And number 5, the last but not least, prioritizing efficiency over exploration. So basically, it's about, just trying to think, say my brother would probably say left field, just thinking, exploring different opportunities. Because we get so comfortable, don't we? Oh, I just want to stay here. I want to stay in this routine. I know what this routine gives me, not much. But you've got to, your mind has to be open to different experiences. Explore different things. Go out and meet different people. Learn a different language. I can speak Spanish because my wife is Colombian. Not very well, but I can hold a conversation. I can speak a little bit of French. That's down to my mum and dad, or broken French. A little bit of Greek, a little bit of German. But, learning a different language, exploring that opens the door to so many different opportunities. You can do it. Again, if you wanted things to change, you have to change. So these are the 5 things that I've come up with. What are your 5 things? Yeah. Anyway, this is the end of the video. Put your comments in the box below. We're going to go onwards and upwards. I will see you on the next video. But if you wanted to know where you were at the Alex Sandy Lee experience.